Oh, I think. Hello, Eddie. Oh. Yeah, it's a good camera, isn't it? Just on the side, sees a lot of. Hello. I was trying to work out who that was, and then saw that Kaze was in the pit, so I was like, "That's got to be Eddie." And they're off. Green flag racing. Matt's getting an amazing start. Ultimate Case actually catching speed. Napping. Matt getting the jump on his teammate down the inside. Necron losing to Cuckoo on the start. Can he pressure Dino into a mistake? Dino goes too wide and extremely close for P1. And is this going to be Jedlin going down the inside? Oh, there's a bit of contact. Oh, that's a spin. And that's another safety car. Oh my god, this carnage.
Jedlin and Kaze are both in the pits. Fennec, Exus, and Dean are all coming in as well. It'll be very tight if he still wants to make it to the back of this pack, but in the meantime, we do have everyone out of the pit, so we're probably going to get going on this next lap. We are in fact restarting now regardless of that incident.
Okay, he's looking for that undercut. Does he get it? It looks like he might do that side by side and very close together. Cuckoo looking for that inside line on Jedlin ahead. Going into 130R, but they're going to be wanting to go fully defensive into the chicane of Casio Triangle. He's going to end up finishing in P1, crossing the line. Greenlink's going to cross the line. It's going to be Ultimate K's across the line.
Gilish comes across the line to win his second MSR title.
And hello viewers, and welcome to round 4 of the MSR GT1 League here at a very sunny Le Mans. And I would normally be saying joined by WMDR Martin, but unfortunately he is in the exotic country of Japan, so it looks like you're stuck with me for tonight. So an interesting track indeed. Le Mans known for its really long straights and annoying chicanes. So definitely tonight we're going to be witnessing the Mercedes properly using that straight line speed. The Nissan's going to be the one suffering the most tonight. The Porsches and the McLarens are going to be somewhere close together. But yeah, so yeah, really interesting track, and also a feature race at that, rather than your normal 1 hour race, which is what you guys are used to. Round 1, round 2, round 3, all an hour each. This one is 2 hours and worth double the points. So whether some drivers are going to be able to bring themselves closer towards the front and maybe even battle with Matt for that essential P1 position, we're all going to have to be seeing it in the race. But yeah, let's hop on board with whoever's going to be starting. Who's at the front of this train? He is. Okay, I know it's just me, but it can't be that I've commentator cursed someone that quickly. There's no way I just did that. Well then I guess I was about to go to Max, but it looks like Max is... That one doesn't count. Okay. So let's finally hop on board with Xevious. Okay. I've also got some nice cameras for tonight. Oh. Go. Bit off, so hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the better angles. Xevious in the Mercedes. He's going to be wanting to set it quite far up. It's going to have really good sector 2 times and sector 1 times. Going to be struggling here through the Porsche curbs, but I think the Mercedes is going to be one of the slowest for long-handers. Yeah, so let's on board with them. As you can see, using the curbing and also using a bit of the pit entrance as we go for what it is the first flying lap of tonight's session. Come up into this right-hander, then very, very hard onto the brakes, wanting to make the apex. Set yourself up for the exit coming off this corner. and head around this long right-hander, then into another long left-hander. Then one's getting into a right, and then heading through really quick corner. Tetra Rouge, I believe it's called. Devious absolutely masterclassing that corner, and this is where the Mercedes is going to be using all of its speed. Hop on a camera. As we hit the first of the chicanes. The hard braking, I think around the 200, 150 mark. A little bit of slide there from Xevious. Oh yeah, that Mercedes doing absolute wonders. In the background, you can see Eddie and Ultimate K's both running a Le Mans special livery. So you'd normally see them in a black livery with yellow and green stripes. So at this time, they are in a yellow livery with, I believe, just green stripes. I'll have a look at that later. But yeah, for those asking, where's our tier list? I've decided postpone it a day. Not a day, a week. Due to, you know, we've got some extra liveries. I know that Cuckoo's changed their livery a bit since they've changed, since I think some teams have merged or something. And I think, as well as that, some people want their Le Mans special liveries to be featured in the lineup. So hopefully next week, round 5, that will be done, and hopefully I will be judging you guys in the right categories. We had probably one of the sketchiest corners on the track. Indianapolis, it's a very much a right, very fast. You can so easily lose the rear going into that corner, or completely outbrake yourself, because you're basically, as soon as you go through that right hand corner, it's, as I think someone goes off in the background, as soon as you go right through that right hand corner, it's straight on the brakes, and if you're either a tad too early on the brakes, you could still, your car could still have that momentum to want to turn right, and your rear could instantly fly out left. And well, that's just asking for carnage and being in the wall at that point. As we head into the Porsche curves, the long right hander and an absolute swooping left hander as the camera catches Xevious flying around here. He's going to be wanting to stay tight all the way round this corner, and then the long left hander we come to the start. You can notice here that Xevious is going to go a bit off of the circuit towards the pit lane, which is completely legal, and use a bit of that curbing there, heading into the 2 last chicanes. It's going to be Xevious across the line, setting the first lap. Well, Trix already has, but I guess that is an out lap. Xevious across the line with a 3:37. That is swiftly beaten by Ultimate K, is doing a 3:35. And I think we're going to watch a lot of people's time slowly come in. There's Max, Unisec, Cuckoo, Mats, and did I already say Max? Yeah, I think I did. And Veilside, all setting laps now. Ultimate K's and Mats extremely close their first laps. Goes wide and has to abort, and also murders a cone. Let's hop on board with Mats, as Mats gets very sideways through that corner. He's keeping his foot in it though. He flies all the way around, goes a bit wide through Tetra Rouge, all in the slipstream of, I believe that's Cuckoo ahead. So Cuckoo absolutely able to get rid of all that dirty air in front, and Mats able to use that slipstream. I wonder whether Cuckoo is going to also try stay with Mats and hope that they can get some slipstream as well. They're getting very much the limit there, almost going over the line but staying within track limits. Trouble though, taking provisional pole with a 3:35.181. I don't know why I said those extra numbers, but who knows. But yeah, Trouble doing an extremely quick time Last time we saw Trouble take pole was in round 1, where he did an amazing job. Max goes extremely wide there and has to abort the lap. So, watch. Hoping these aren't glitch timings. He thinks. Wait, let's go on to... Didn't know this race was in Australia. There we go. Let's click that. Teams that were close to it. But yeah, what I think, for strategy wise, I think what might be a good idea, as much as, yes, you're competing with your teammate, if you help your teammate out by giving them a little bit of slipstream and give them a tenth or two, maybe even more, who knows, that could easily be them up a few places. I mean, towards the front, I mean, Trouble's quite beating Matt's by 7/10, but you can see how close it is between Matt's Ultimate K's and Vealside. 3 drivers, all in the McLaren, I believe. Yeah, all in the McLaren. And yeah, so all extremely close, and that's all Slipstream could do. If K's had a little bit of Slipstream, he could easily get that, taking that P2 away from Matt, as we see Ultimate K's taking these last corners, and that's not how that's supposed to look. And across the line, does Ultimate K's improve? Seems so. Maybe he's going for maybe that was his out lap. Or very slightly through the first chicane there. Person I want to keep an eye on though is Trouble. Trouble is playing an absolutely incredible time. But can he go quicker as he heads into these final chicanes? Let's head on his bonnet cam, which is, I've turned it into the roof cam, so if you see me click bonnet, it's roof. If you see me click roof, it's backwards. If you see me click trackside, it's trackside, obviously. As he goes 5/10 quicker and is beating Matt by 1.2 seconds. That is incredible. And the closest Mercedes to him is Binding in 5th place, almost 2 seconds behind. So Trouble doing an absolutely amazing job in quali. As Vealside leave starting a lap with this very fast right hander, hard braking into the left, absolutely nailing the corners there. As Trouble types in the chat, let's fucking go. And I mean, if I was beating 2nd place by that much, I think I'd be in that exact boat. I'd be like, what the fuck, let's go. That is absolutely awesome. But yeah, Vealside though, wonder can he gain that much on his PB with 6 minutes remaining and 3-minute 35 lap times. He's well, 36 for Vealside. This will be his probably 2nd last lap unless he pits. Goes a bit wide there. That could be a track invalidation. I want to see how far of a camera I can get. How far away can I look at? Who knows? But back on board of him. Ignore the chase cam. This chase cam always glitches a bit. So, yeah, this is a good camera. Hillside passing us here. And heading into the big braking zone of... I can't remember, I've got to bring up a sheet actually. Of... so... Okay, I think I have... Yes, I do have all of the necessary information now. Yeah, so Veilside properly pushing his car still. For some reason I can't... I'm hoping if I click that... I haven't seen any splits. But, hoping now if I click that it might show them. Veilside properly pushing that McLaren. Eddie as well, 1 second off of trouble, which sounds quite bad, but it's put him into second place. Really good time by him. Matt's, Veilside lined it all the way around. Oh god, my voice. But yeah, as Veilside heads around these couple last corners. And yeah, already from Martin not being here, I'm already starting to lose my voice clearly. Which would actually be hilarious. As Veilside drops it into second, demoting Eddie to P3. Matt's to P4 and Ultimate K is to P5. So... yeah, Veilside, an absolutely terrific lap in that McLaren. Something which I also want to talk as we head into these final this final section of the quali is a lot of different strategies going to be coming out during the race. We might see some different pit stops, maybe some cars get different fuels. I think Veilside, yeah, boxes. And Matt. Okay, there he is. Camera glitched there for a reason. Ultimate K's. Believe is still going to be able to get a lap time done, but anyone crossing the line from about a minute ago, or just less than a minute ago, is gonna not be able to do another hot lap if they are currently on an out lap. As Matt's setting an absolutely insane time with a 3:33.6. I didn't think we'd be getting into the 33s tonight, that's for sure. Yeah, Tokugawa, only 2 more hours of commentating and it's, yeah, already going quite bad. Luckily, something that I have brought back that I'll probably show on stream later is my 2-litre bottle of drink has returned. I only wish it was full of Red Bull, let's put it that way. As, yeah, Matt's in the pits now, so the top 5 all pitted, but Ultimate K's has not, and was going to be looking to get into that top 5 as he comes round these final corners, final chicanes. It's 1, it's 2, it's the final 2 corners. Well, 1 if it's a chicane. Getting a bit of wheel spin there. And across the line for Ultimate K. Does he improve? And he does. He demotes his teammate Eddie to P5 and Xavius to P6. As we watch Binding now in P7. Going to be looking to improve on his time. That's someone, unfortunately, in the wall. That is going to be their qualifying session over. As Eddie asking me to hydrate. I really thank you, Eddie. I'm going to need it for this race. Actually, no, I won't need it. It depends on how much you give me. Let's put it that way. So, as Binding going through the Porsche curbs, almost scraping the wall, extremely close there. But I do think that unfortunately from the top right it does say binding lap time invalidated track limits, and indeed it is. So yeah, that is going to be binding's qualifying session, I believe, over, unless the game is indeed tricking me. Actually no, I think it might be tricking me. I think binding could still be on a lap, but that would be quite an interesting lap, and that could be reviewed later if he does improve. But no improvement. I think Sphere's already finished his lap. Mammoth not finished his lap yet. Just outside the top 10, P11. He's going to be looking to try and get it into the top 10 as we go once again through these final chicanes. Setting himself absolutely perfect, not touching too much of that big red sausage curb. That could be taken out of context, and one Mammoth across the line, and he puts himself 3 positions higher in P8, just behind binding. As we see Exus come to a stop on the line. Wait, is Fee must still be on the lap. He must have just been able to get his lap time. I didn't think he was. So we're now, I believe, only waiting for Svi now. Everybody waiting to see, is Svi going to be able to improve any more than he already has? He's in the top 10, but can he get Trickster? Can he get Wild Mammoth? Or can he get Binding? It's probably Tokugawa's disapproval. The Svi come into one of the hardest sections of the Le Mans track. Fast right, hard braking. You're going to try bring your car as much left. A little bit of a lockup. That's not going to do him any good for his time. But he looks like he's still pushing, using the outside curb, cutting right into this right 90-degree corner. He's really pushing the car. You can see he loses a little bit of grip on the outside there. Coming down the final main straight into the Porsche curbs. He's in a Porsche, so hopefully he'll be quick as he goes right, then through these fast left-handers. Gonna get as close as the wall as you can, and he does, as he goes all the way around this round corner. Goes a bit wide. That's gonna compromise his exit a bit here. Goes extremely wide there, and I don't think that's gonna do that much to his lap time. Going through these final chicanes for the final time in qualifying, as Svi slowing down and then accelerating out, trying to get his best exit. He crosses the line. Where does he go? P9. He takes Trixar. Wait, is Binding still driving? I thought Binding would have... I think Binding's still driving. Never mind. Binding is still on a qualifying lap. Of course, Fee was the final one as Binding grounds these Porsche curbs. Goes a bit wide there. Now for the final time, going into the final chicane in qualifying. It's going to be Binding across the time. He's been pushing and pushing. Does he improve? Who knows? As Binding does improve. He improves to P4 on the standings. An absolutely amazing final lap by him. So it's going to be Mats taking provisional pole. Trouble taking... taking pole. Trouble in P2, Veilside in P3, Binding in P4, Ultimate K's in P5, Eddie in P6, Xavius in P7, Wild Mammoth in P8, Svi in P9, Trickster in P10, Fennec in P11, Jedlin in P12, Exus in P13, Max in P14, Cuckoo in P15, and Kunisek in P16. Now, something I do want to mention is, as much as, yes, we do in fact have quite the varied front line, so we have the McLaren of Matt, the Mercedes of Trouble, the McLaren once again of Biel's side, and then binding also in a Mercedes, and then the two teammates, Ultimate K's and Eddie, both running McLarens, and then Exhibit. So the top is quite varied. Porsche seems to be more in the midfield, but the Nissans doing absolutely terrible. Only 3 Nissans in the league. Unfortunately, one of them could have made it, and you can just see how much they really are suffering. And it's just, you know, it's just upsetting to see. Seeing these two beautiful cars at the back, and they're going to be hoping for every bit of slipstream, every top end. They're probably running 0 wing just to try and keep up with the other cars. A lot of different strategy. I've heard that the Porsche is able to potentially go 2 laps longer than the McLaren fuel-wise. I think fuel is going to be a massive token. Is Shad saying, woo, P4 for binding indeed. Looks like the chat is all voting towards binding tonight. So binding, don't fuck this up. I'm kidding. Yeah, Binding having a really good quali. I think one of his highest qualifying positions in a while, as well as Trouble once again on the front line as we head into the formation. One getting away. This is gonna be quite. Do you know what? This is gonna be a really long formation lap, guys. We could probably talk about an entire different subject for the entire time they're all on a formation lap, and probably be done by the time. Chad saying, Binding, give us a win. I'll return the favour at Donington. My only question is, what sort of favour? I'm kidding. No, of course, Chad definitely gonna be bringing it back when hopefully I believe not feeling well, so I'm wishing you the best if you are. So yeah, Matt's though gonna be leading the way. In fact, look at this. This is the camera we want. In fact, no, I know a better camera. This is the camera we want. Actually, no. Here we go. As all the cars slowly coming, I believe, at 80 kilometers per hour. Matt's leading this absolute train of cars. Freeze in the way. Oh, that's a very interesting. Yeah, so Matt's leading the grid off, followed by Trouble, who's going to be lined up next to him. Veilside on the second round, lined up next to Binding. Ultimate K's lined up next to his teammate Eddie. Bevius lined up next to Wild Mammoth's Fee, next to Trixer. So the two Porsches in the top 10. Well, just in the top 10, accompanying each other, next to each other. Fennec in P11, lined up next to the Porsche of Jedlin. Exus in P13, I believe the lowest of the Mercedes. And Max, the lowest of the Porsches, in P14. And the two Nissans in P15 and 16. The long tail, I believe we might be, hold on, let me, I believe that is a long tail. Yeah, so looking at the predictions though, it's 22% saying that there is going to be a safety car and 78% saying that there is 2 people both putting points on the line. Whether they will get their points, unfortunately I can't steal them because they keep on voting on both sides. As you watch, Matt's just getting his tyres warmed. Good. Oh, this is the camera. This is the camera. I love how I've been playing with AMS2 for, and I don't actually know how long I've been. A good chunk of time. Is there a way to? Yes, there is. But yeah, I've been playing MS2 for a really long time, about I think 700 hours, and I'm still amazed sometimes by the cameras. That they just give you free access. You can change them when you want. Like, the game's not doing this. I'm freely changing them. So Matt's leading the way. I've just had a look in the Discord server. Everyone's saying that they're running AMS2. But for our favourite, clearly the favourite of the drivers, Binding, running a cowboy hat as a status. So I guess that's gonna sum up how his race is gonna go, you know. As we see the cars. A lot of people here. Hopefully they'll come around the corner here. Yep, they do. Yeah, so gonna be Matt's leading the way, taking the grid for him, I believe. The starting zone is gonna be coming up just after the Porsche curves. Help me. But yeah, so it's going to be an interesting race tonight. I think we could have carnage. It's so easy to get in someone's slipstream, try to make it 3 wide, and then going into chicane, it's so easy to cause an accident between 3 cars when there's that much slipstream, that much overspeed. It can cause quite a bit of damage sometimes, but luckily we do have some of the best drivers in AMS, at least from my standpoint of watching them. And watch all the cars warming up their tyres. This is going to be their final opportunity before they're going to be put into double lines. Camera. As you can see, if you squint just a bit, you can see all the headlights of the drivers. I think it will be turning tonight. And you can see they're all stopped there. Ignore the yellow flags. I just want to make sure... Oh. My buttons aren't working. No. Oh god. And we're about to start. It's fine. They're not necessary. So, it's going to be Matt's leading the group, followed by Trouble. Well, next to him is going to be Trouble lined up. They're going to be wanting to get their best exit possible, but it's Matt to control the pace. When is he going to go? When is he going to leave them for dust? And it's go, go, go. Matt's getting an amazing start, leaving Trouble a bit in the distance. Veilside almost looking for the move, and Veilside instantly defending that P3 position from Binding. Matt's getting an absolutely amazing start. Trouble still in the background, goes a bit deep. And is everyone making it through the first corner nicely? It looks like everyone has. But back to lead, it's Matt. And Trouble having to be a bit defensive towards Veilside there. as we head onto the main straight. Looks like almost 3 wide in the background. A bit of contact between Svi, Eddie, and Wild Mammoth. And that's Eddie spinning. Hopefully that isn't collisions. Oh, and those 2 cars off. I think that's a safety car. It looks like, yes, that is indeed a safety car. And of course, my safety car buttons aren't actually working, so I'll quickly get while a safety car is in place. Oh no, my buttons are working. Wait, oh my god, I had the formation lap still on, didn't I? Silly me. Yeah, so that is gonna be a safety car. And yeah, I don't know who was involved. It looked like Eddie went a bit wide, lost the car, and then the 2 cars behind him got caught. And that, yeah, that is not a friendly looking car indeed. Eddie, stop taking the cones out. Max's car as well, looking quite badly destroyed. An Exodus 2, and not having the best, but I believe everyone in front just making it through that carnage. And for those who voted, should I make another chat? Yeah, poor Audie did just die. It is yeah, very, very unfortunate for him, just getting too bumpy on the exit. Now, for those who are watching, I do wonder, should I create another prediction now? Because I mean, we've already got a safety car. Should I put a prediction for, are we going to get another safety? Because this was early. This was extremely early. You need to recoup. So as let's bring up a another safe start prediction. It's gonna be another. I think it's gonna be at. If you think about it, it's gonna be quite a long time, this safety car as well. So I'm gonna put this vote for 5 minutes. Let's go for 5 minutes. I think 5 minutes is a good time for people to vote. If you're driving and you're listening, quickly tab out and vote. I'm kidding, of course. I do not condone gambling and driving. Not gambling. That's against the rules. Predicting fake money. But yeah, so that's really unfortunate for Eddie. He had quite a good qualifying. At one point he was P2 in the qualifying. That is going to be him starting from the back now. All that hard effort just to lose it on the first lap. Extremely unfortunate. And that could unfortunately be a penalty coming his way as well for loss of control or something. As Jacob joins us saying, what the dog doing? No dogs, just cars. And some damaged ones towards the back indeed. As if you're just joining us, Jacob, there is a safety car out on the first lap of the race, of this 2-hour long race. So hopefully we won't have a safety car. But I'm always one for carnage, so kind of maybe later on the line when there's a bit more spread. As yeah, Matt's warming up his tires a bit. Don't want to warm them up a bit too much, just in case that increases his tire wear as he goes through the Porsche curbs. I also think that we do have our first retirement of the session. So I think that might be Eddie. I think Eddie has unfortunately retired. Jacob, unfortunately, my co-commentator is not here. He is in Japan for the next week and a bit, so I don't think he's going to be here for the next one either. I know how much you miss him. But, yeah, so just going to be me tonight. Unless... bring in Eddie, mate. he was peak yes, he was. I feel like I was more of the co-streamer, and he was always the main feature guy. But yeah, unfortunately not joined by do not invite. No, I wouldn't. As much as George was in fact my first subscriber of the channel. I don't think his commentary would be quite up to motorsport or broadcasting standards. So yeah, don't worry, I'm already ahead of you. As we see one car that was involved pitting. Exus deciding to stay out. Maybe he did miss it. But who knows? Oh, yeah, it is exam season, isn't it? Wishing you the best, Jacob, for all your exams. I know some people are missing this race because they also have exams and things around this time. So, yeah, wishing you all the best, and to all those who are doing exams at this time, yeah, all the best, guys. Hopefully see you after your exams. Hope they go well. Matt's still leading the way. I don't think Matt's is going to be too happy. Matt's got quite the good start. Lost the wheel, had to retire. Eddie, would you, if you are listening, if you want, it's up to you. Would you like to join me in the commentary booth tonight? Because my co-commentator is not here. Oh wait, I just realised what you said as well. Lost a wheel. I thought it might have been like a radio. You lost an entire. That is wow. That was quite the crash. Yeah, Eddie, if you want to join, ready for the end again, I will track straight away. So Matt's still leading the way. A very long safety car this is going to be, and I think the best thing that people are going to be wanting to do during the safety car is save as much fuel as you can, because safety cars like this could easily allow you to get 1 extra lap, 2 extra laps, 3 extra, well maybe not 3, but a lot more laps, because I mean we were already pitting once for fuel during the race. I would be surprised if we don't, if we see someone go for a 0 stop tonight. In fact, I don't think it's physically impossible. I'm confident it's physically impossible. Oh, I don't know about joining an SMP, Jacob. Just purely based. I've got my schedule is busying up quite a bit. I've just restarted driving lessons, so I won't be too active, but might just join here and there. Matt's leading the way, going through Indianapolis. Yeah, English Verstappen, exactly. I will try my best, but yeah, So Matt's with the it improved on his delta on a safety car lap. I mean, that shows how much how little we've gone during this whole safety car period. I mean, it's already been, I believe, 3 laps including the formation lap. The corner. Is that? Have you just put an equation in in the chat? I think I recognize that. Yeah, either way, Matt's leading the way. Not double file this time, single file. Jacob, I might not be able to reply to some of your messages. Yeah, Matt's leading the way, coming through the final chicanes. Going to be the one that leading the way as we hop back onto a very weird roof cam. I don't know why it does that constantly. Matt's to lead the way. When is he going to go? And he's gone straight away. Green flag racing. Veilside getting quite a good start. Almost getting the jump on Trouble behind. Trouble though with that top end speed. Able to just hold it in front. Do we see a dive from Veilside? No. Trouble defends going into the corner. Goes a bit deep. Almost leaves themselves compromised. Looks like everyone making it through the corner nicely. Too wide action behind. But Trouble's going to be wanting to defend this position from Veilside as this camera keeps on messing up. I might not stop using this. See Veilside just behind, taking a lot more momentum, but goes a bit wider with that momentum. That's very unfortunate. Now you're going to see the pace of the Mercedes as he's starting to get dropped by actually no, I think they're just staying in each other's slipstream. You can see how much he's gained, and in fact going down the inside of Matt and holding that inside. Oh, and Veilside almost crushing into the back of his teammate. That would have been very, very unfortunate. Some drivers going a bit off. I do apologise if the camera work is a bit shabby. I am not the man to do this, that is for certain. As Fennec being absolutely cheered on. Towards the front, we got some moving of positions. It's Binding versus Ultimate K's into the second chicane. It's Ultimate K's on the outside. Binding poking his nose in the inside. Can Binding get the exit off the corner? He can't. And this four-way battle is extremely close. It goes McLaren, Mercedes, McLaren, Mercedes between these four alone. Binding trying it around the outside here, going into Mulsanne corner. And Ultimate K's not giving us, I think, Veilside going a bit wide. He's dropped quite a bit of positions this lap, and someone going even wider. That looks to be Max in the distance, but Trouble though getting quite a way away from Matt in that really fast Mercedes, but Matt is going to be joining. But here we have a battle. Binding versus Ultimate K's. Ultimate K's versus Exevious. And Exevious versus Veilside. All these cars very close. That's Ultimate K's trying to poke his nose down the inside. Veilside, Binding giving him the space. And they're now too wide coming off the corner. Binding gonna have that straight line speed compared to Ultimate K's, but they're still too wide. Clearly Binding not getting the exit he wanted. Going into the Porsche curves, it's 2 by 2 by 2. Ultimate K's with the inside line. Can he hold it on the outside line, or can Binding hold it all the way around the outside? He just isn't able to. But now they're almost too wide going through the Porsche curves. A bit of contact They're between Veilside and Binding. Binding almost forcing Veilside off into the gravel, and Veilside able to go all the way around the outside with that bit of contact and a bit of gluing. Whoa, as we see a lot of cars go wide there. Oh, Wild Mammoth getting very, very close to the back of Exevius, almost getting him on the exit. But towards the front, we have this battle for P1, Trouble versus Matt. Matt's getting extremely close. I really want to go back to this battle, but I don't want to miss the swap position for the lead. Let's head back to... where is... yeah, here it is. The battle for P6. As Bindings managed to make a small break for it away from this pack of 4 cars. No, 3 cars? Yeah. No, 4, I believe. Yeah, 4. See some cars go wide. I think that's Jedlin in the Pepsi car going a bit wide there. Jedlin looking down the inside of Wild Mammoth. Wild Mammoth gonna try and hold it down the inside as they hit the hard braking zone, braking 200 meters, but it looks like Jedlin has overcooked it and cut the chicane. That's gonna allow for Wild Package to get by and could also leave Jedlin compromised to the likes of Fennec behind. Fennec hard on the brakes, almost 3 wide and a bit of contact between all of them. Very, very unfortunate there. I think Fennec sizing up a move, but then getting turned in on by Jedlin, who is sizing up a move on Wild Mammoth. Up in front, we've got the battle for P4. I believe it's the McLaren of Veilside defending from Binding and Exevius. Of course, I won't keep my eye off this battle here for the battle for P1, where Mats is patiently staying behind Trouble. And that looked to be a small mistake. Wait, Binding's made it past Veilside, but I think Veilside might be able to get a better exit coming off this corner. He's tucked all up in the slipstream of Binding and is going to use it to his advantage. Getting into the Porsche curbs now. Veilside trying to scare Binding into a mistake. And just behind as well, don't forget Exevius. We could see a lot of action between these drivers tonight. As Binding makes a mistake, touches the sausage car, and that's going to be not 1 but 2 positions, unfortunately, lost for Binding. I think Binding going to be kicking himself a bit there. Now looking further towards the back of the grid, it's Max versus Cuckoo in the Nissan ahead, and Max in the Porsche that we're currently looking at. And yeah, as you can see, the conditions getting a bit overcast as it is forecast to rain a little bit. So whether people might put on wet tires, I doubt it will, but it definitely make it more slippery. But who cares? As Cuckoo is getting made a move on by Max. Max has the inside. Cuckoo instantly slipping into that slipstream. That Porsche having a lot of more straight line speed. B as well in the background. Svi sizing up a move on Cuckoo. Going into the first chicane, going to be Svi on the inside, but that's going to turn into the inside of the second part. Svi still able to hold it around the outside there. I think having that extra power compared to Cuckoo, I think that could be a move made, but they're still side by side and extremely close. There's been a change for the lead as Matt is about a second faster, no, a second ahead of Trouble. So unfortunately I've missed that. Although still now back into within the slipstream range. And he's got two long corners, long straights to do it. Now if he can gain here, is gaining quite rapidly. And as they head into Indianapolis, Indianapolis is not a place you want to make a move. Matt's braking a lot later than Trouble, who struggles to get that Mercedes stopped. That is a mistake that Trouble does not want to be making if he's going to be looking for the win tonight. Over the back of the grid, it's Binding versus Xevious, and Xevious going off the track. That is going to be a position unfortunately lost. But Jedlin trying to also make a move on Xevious there. But unable. That stays straight line speed. A lot better than the Porsches. But the Porsche is going to be a lot better going through these corners here. But Jedlin just isn't going to be able to pass. Yeah, looking at the timings right now, the the top two, Matt and Trouble, doing identical fastest laps. And if that stays like that, that's going to be insane, because I think we do get points as there's a bit of contact between... Ooh. Between Xevious and Jedlin. Further down the grid, Max being sprung on by a eager Svi, in fact looking for the move down into Tetra Rouge, and Max going wide and murdering a cone, and that cone almost comes back to whack Cuckoo, it seems. But yeah, so very close there. But back to this battle, it looks like Jedlin is in slipstream and was looking for a bit more contact there. That's gonna force Jedlin. That unfortunate mistake is gonna force Jedlin to cut that corner a bit. So watching these two tango, it's going to be Jedlin trying to get that exit, and I think he's going to be looking for an opportunity coming down into Mulsanne corner. And just behind as well, it looks like Exus making a move on Fennec. Gonna be stuck on the outside. Fennec given the inside. Fennec the later of the breakers. But has he overcooked it? He has, and that's gonna be a switchback from Exus. Exus easily making that switchback work. Using that straight line speed of the Mercedes to just get away. I'm Fennec. You got Wild Mammoth looking for a move. Is he going to try one into Indianapolis? It looks like he is, as they go almost too wide for Indianapolis. As that's a lunge by Wild Mammoth. Wild Mammoth pushing Fennec a bit. Fennec, though, will be on the outside line, but he's going to have more of a momentum out the corner. Just up ahead as well. Can't forget these two battling just away. So if these two also start battling, that's going to be carnage. But behind, they're too wide. Wild Mammoth going for a move on the inside of the first section of the Porsche Curbs. And Fennec holding around the inside, giving just enough room. Absolutely millimeters between them. But he's going to be still too wide. But Wild Mammoth able to just poke his car ahead through that second section of the Porsche Curbs. Also, hello, car lover. I'm very good, thank you, very good. Unfortunately, Martin isn't here, so I'm a full-time commentator this time. And that's, whoa, extremely close. Exus almost making a move on Jedlin there. But now I think this is going to be his opportunity, getting the run out of the corner compared to Jedlin. Exus down the inside, but that's going to turn to the outside of the first corner. And just like Fennec, looking for a switchback and gets the momentum off the corner. He has the inside here, but once again, it's going to be the outside for this next corner. Not able to put his car in the right position, but him being in that Mercedes, it could lead him to stay as close as he can to make the move on the Mulsanne. He's got one man behind to worry about as well. And just at the front, it's Ultimate K's versus Trouble. As Trouble has the inside line of the first chicane, but Ultimate K's trying to make it all the way around the outside and does so, but I believe as we head back to Australia, we have Trouble in that Mercedes. You can see how much more straight line speed that thing has. And just like that, it's an easy pass for Trouble as he goes pretty much in front, making a move before the corner. Well done doing a WRC is great, mate. You should have just sent me a message on like Discord or something. I would have joined. Yeah, so Ultimate K's now in the slipstream, looking for a potential move, and in fact making the move, trying to pressure Trouble into a mistake, and Trouble leaves the door open. Gonna be Ultimate K's once again trying to make a move on Trouble. They're too wide. You can see how close their cars are. Mercedes having that straight line speed, and Trouble able to just hold the car in front of him through Indianapolis, but instantly Ultimate Case tries to switch back and gets his car alongside. A bit of contact though, but Ultimate Case having a better run out the corner. But will that matter with the straight line speed of the Mercedes? It looks like it doesn't matter as much as it normally would, as we see Trouble defending that inside line. Ultimate Case trying to make a move as Trouble goes wide, and that could be a move complete for Ultimate Case. It is. Yeah, trouble losing another place, unfortunately, to the outside there. Doesn't have too much now to worry about, as Binding is about 4 seconds behind. No, not 4. 5. We go 5. 5 seconds down the road, and Binding in no man's land, the closest person. 7 seconds, but these two are absolutely squaffling between them, and two people who are squaffling for position seem to be Exevious and Wild Mammoth. But back to this fight, it looks like Exus really trying to defend that position from Jedlin, as Jedlin trying to get as much of a run out the corners. The Mercedes finding difficult to overtake during the corners and during the straight, since they have such a they're quite slow through the corners, but there's no real place to overtake through corners on this place without getting a better exit, and to get a better exit than the Mercedes is quite hard. Jedlin just slotting into the slipstream, not make any moves yet, and this race is going to turn to night very soon. Very soon. Let's have a look. Let's see if there's any more battles. That is, in fact, the closest one on track. Jedlin getting quite a better exit. Never mind what I just said. Ladies instantly make me regret what I said. And just behind those two is Exevious and Wild Mammoth. These two have been swapping positions quite a bit as they head into the corner here. Exevious unable to get him on the corner, and just behind as well, Trickster and Fennec. Fennec looking for that move, and I think Exevious as well has made the move. Let's watch back onto Fennec. They're going to be going too wide into Indianapolis. Is anyone going to give up? It looks like Trickster does give the position up. Is probably going to look for the slipstream from Fennec's car on the straight. Balls, I think that's a spin for Svi. Head Wild Mammoth once again on the back of Exevious. Still these two fight. Oh. That looks to be a bit of contact, and that allows Fennec to get involved as well as Trickster. And this 2-car battle has turned into a 4-car battle. Into the first corner, it's extremely close. Oh, and that's Trickster spinning and almost taking out Fennec and Exevious with him, and almost their teammate there. Very unfortunate. I do wonder what happened. It looks like he locked his rears there. Yeah, could have ended in absolute disaster. on board with Exevius, looking to defend from the likes of Fennec now. I think Exus making a move on Jedlin just up ahead. I think Jedlin might have made a small mistake though, maybe Exevius went for a move. The Fennec pull out of slipstream, and just like that, as he pulls out of slipstream, you can see how much slower his car is, but he's better on the brakes, and Exevius still having to go semi-defensive. Nick trying the better line out the corner, once again hugging that slipstream. Let's have a look, see if there's any other battles going on at the moment. Yeah, Matt's in the lead, Ultimate K is behind. And I've started to notice that there's a bit of, I don't know, I thought I saw a bit of spitter. Spitter is essentially slang for sea water. I don't know if I saw some. Am I seeing things? I must be seeing. Either way, looking at, oh, and that's Fennec losing a position to Max, but Max going straight off the course, and that allows Fennec straight back through. Go through the Porsche curves. The most dangerous section of, well, excluding Indianapolis, but I guess it is also preference. Max going wide, not getting the better of the exits, allows their teammate to gain quite rapido on them. Oh, in fact, just ahead though, Jedlin versus Wild Mammoth. Well, it's going to turn into Exevius versus Jedlin again. The Jedlin went a bit wide. That allows Exevius to go down the inside and make his move back up into P8. But never mind, Jedlin getting the better of the exits. But almost makes that move, almost gets better of an exit, and came up next to Exevius for a bit. Unfortunately not able to make the move. So looking at the timing sheets, people start to be spreading out a bit except for this battle, so we're going to stick with this battle a little longer. Jedlin looking for the inside line on Exevius, and he takes it. Exevius not defending too much there. Going a bit wide, that's not going to help his exit one bit. Wait, why is my... What? Okay. My desktop audio has been off for quite a while. Luckily, I think everything's been running speakers. So hopefully that will... Yeah, and I think... too much as we hit the hour mark, as Exevius down the inside, correcting me once again. Jedlin holding it, touching a bit of gravel, that's not going to help his exit, and even further behind it looks to be Fennec versus Max versus Trixer. Xevious going for the move as we see the headless horseman of Xevious there. And coming to Jedlin, you can see how much darker the sky has got as we are heading into Berry. And that's Jedlin off into the gravel, and that could be a position lost also to Fennec and Max and Trix. But I think, as I've said, that Fennec has lost both of those positions. Fennec getting the run though on Trixer. Trying out the inside for the Porsche curves. And able to slot it into P11. For those who think I am losing energy, I am. Not because this race is boring, because I'm only used to commentating for about an hour. And with a co-commentator at that as well. So I'm going to wake up tomorrow and find out my voice is gone. As well, I think, looking at the sheet there, Jedlin getting quite the bad exit and Max getting extremely close to the likes of him. Xevious able to make a move away. How close these P9 and P10 are, and P11 and P12. We might be almost an hour in as Jedlin getting very, very loose somehow off that corner, and I think there could be some potential for some pit stops soon. Max taking the inside line here on Jedlin. Jedlin holding it, but unable to get the run out of the corner. And Max putting it up into P9, but still, this fight is most definitely not over, as Max is going to be in the slipstream. Jedlin trying to make the move back as they head into the second chicane. Hard on the brakes they go. And Jedlin with the inside line commits more, and it has that P9 position back. But who has the better of the exits down onto this third section of long straight? All I know though is Fennec behind is going to try and make it 3 wide. As they head into the hardest of the braking zones, as someone flashes their lights, Fennec bails out. Jedlin tries it around the outside, and Max holds it on the inside, hoping that he holds that position. And yes, he does. He holds P9. But this group incredibly close together. Just in front, Fennec once again looking for a move there. 3 wide again. Incredibly close again. This could end in carnage, as Trix is extremely close as well and goes 2 wide. Tries in fact to make a move on Fennec. A bit of gluing there it seemed. Trix are down the inside of Fennec. Fennec trying to hold it around the outside, and that looks to be Max off into the gravel pit. And Fennec down the inside of Trixer. Trixer going wide, almost colliding. That's Max into the wall. I need a breather. But this race is not over yet between these guys. As Fennec still wanting to rumble. And Trix as well in the background. These 3 absolutely millimeters from each other at these highs of speeds. you know, it's like watching Red Bull at Baku in 2018. Something would have happened inevitably. But Fennec trying around the outside into the chicane. They go, a bit of contact, and Fennec's forced onto the grass. Comes back on, badly losing the position to Trixer. There could be a potential penalty there, but Jedlin, I think, slowing down a bit and letting Fennec by. But unfortunately, that does lose him 2 positions, and that allows Trixer through. Oh, as Fennec goes extremely wide, and that leaves him compromised to Jedlin. Jedlin going completely offline, and it looked like he overtake him off track. Oh, and Fennec going even wider. He might have some tyre issues there. That will not be good for him if he does so. Since people have spread out a bit more and I'm comfortable to look around, it's Mats VR leading the way, 6 seconds ahead of Ultimate K's in P2, Veilside in P3, Trouble in P4, Binding in P5, Exus in P6, Wild Mammoth in P7, Trixer in P8, Jedlin in P9, Fennec in P8, Cuckoo in P11, Kunisek in P12, Xevious in P13, Max in the box in P14, and Svi in P15. Anything could happen. One mistake, one small mistake that could lead into a big incident could take you out of the race. I mean, this track is quite dangerous and quite high sped. So, quite high sped. I can't believe I just said that. It's a quite high speed track. And that also means some cars are going to be running less downforce and therefore be maybe a bit less comfortable to drive than maybe your higher downforce cars. Yeah, Mats though with the fastest lap of the race with a 3:36.956 as the leader actually comes into the pit lane this lap. And I wonder, do the cars behind follow? Ultimate K's follows, Veilside follows to the top 3, all pitting. And Trouble decides to stay out. So as Trouble crosses the line here, we're going to have a new leader of the race crossing the line. Trouble is going to be our new leader. Binding also pitting, followed by Exus, who cuts the chicane a bit. Wild Month also pitting. See what Trixer and Jedlin do. Trixer stays out for another lap. Jedlin stays out for another lap. Oh, very, very late by Jedlin there. As he didn't. So pretty much all the top 10 have pitted except for Trixer and Trouble. I wonder where is Fennec and Jedlin going to come out compared to each other. See pretty much everyone boxing for some new tyres and new, well, obviously some new fuel. More fuel. I've never had a look at this. Oh, never sat looking at. Finally, I've got my break. As Jedlin moves off, but does he move off in front of Fennec? He has. And I believe Cuckoo almost jumping Fennec as well. Unisec as well behind. B just coming around the final corners. It's going to be Trouble leading the way. He's got quite some time to make up, and he's got to hope that he doesn't run out of fuel. And I think I see a couple of raindrops. It might be 2 pixels on your screen, but on mine, I'm starting to see a bit of shine, a bit of raindrops. Might be starting to fall a bit. Only light rain, nothing too serious. Yeah, as you can see, a bit of specks on our window, and in fact, it is quite bad, the rain. Going into the Porsche curves. As Trouble rounds off the Porsche curbs, does he pit this lap, or does he try to risk it and go for one more lap? And it is box for Trouble. Trouble goes in. Oh, misses his braking zone. A lot of people overestimating the braking zone there. That's very close to the behind of Rixer as they head through the Porsche curves. Mats is going to be wanting Rixer to get out of the way as soon as possible, since he's probably on new tyres. As Tricks are also being given the sign to box. And you can properly see the rain now on the screen. I wonder where Trouble is going to come out compared to some of the other drivers. Yeah, good, better camera. Never seen that camera before. Either way, that'll have to do, this camera. I wonder, does Bill's side potentially pass Trouble? Trouble's been in the pit lane for quite a while now, so I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see move off anytime soon. But Bill's side coming around these corners. And in fact, I think that's Lexus always in? Okay, but either way, Trouble comes out in front of Veilside, and that was very crucial for his success. Yeah, chat, if you... I don't remember X being that high when it came to the standings. Was he always there? Give away a Wild Mammoth. Box. Or shall I say, leaving the box. Where does he come out? When Fennec in, I think, is Fennec pitting again? Oh no, has Fennec got the glitch? Hope Fennec doesn't have the glitch. Very, very unfortunate. Oh, as I've been asked to drink, thank you, Carl. And you can probably see that rain chucking it down through these last kind of final corners. if I was Matt, I'd be very much watching out, especially going through Indianapolis. I'd be watching how much speed I take. Okay. Ooh, a drink. Yeah, Matt's leading the way by 5 seconds. Ultimate K's, though, doing a good job at staying close. Let's have a look at the timings. The fastest lap by Matt is a 3:36. That is the fastest lap overall. Ultimate K's is behind him, and last lap gained about 3/10 on Matt. So whether he'll be able to carry that on, do not know. So, who are the closest people on track? I think Trixer and Kunisek might be. Kunisek doing an amazing job in that Nissan. Starting to gain quite a bit on Trixer. In fact, making the move now as they go side by side. Looks like that Nissan has come to life, and Trixer already overtaken before the Porsche curbs. Wow. Oh, but that is Kunisek off into the gravel, and unfortunately that is another commentator's curse. As Trixer boxes, so he could have had some damage, because I remember he did pit earlier. I'm confident of it. Any more moves on the track? Being Kunisek are extremely close together. Ooh, Cuckoo and Kunisek very close together. Has Kunisek got problems? I think Kunisek could have potential problems. Hopefully he can sort those out. Looks like his car is back and running again. Looking down the field, quite spread. Not too much going on, and with an hour left, I don't think there's going to be any safety car. I'll still keep the prediction up just in case. But I don't think there's going to be another safety car. Properly nighttime, and the rain is absolutely drizzling. The Cuckoos changed their livery just a bit ever since their combination with Wild Mammoth and themselves. I think I've also noticed a battle as Matt's boxes. Ultimate K is also boxing. Does Trouble box? No boxing for Trouble nor Veal side. So the front two both hitting. I can't imagine why. Wet tires? No, surely it's not that rainy. As no, it is that rainy. And yeah, you can see that coming out the back of Max's car is in fact quite a bit of what can only be described as spray through some of those corners. Trouble on the side deciding to stay out. Wonder, are they potentially trying to go for a strategy where they pit later and hope that the weather gives out? Was Trouble going very deep, struggling with the rain. Vilside able to catch up. I don't think Vilside has pitted for rain tyres as Svi boxes. Watch this. Damn, that is very enticing, that thing just going left and right. Well, anyway, we're distracted. We'll go back to the battles. Jedlin is close to the back of Binding. Binding doesn't seem to be having the best time in this wet weather. Jedlin getting the better of the exits, but Binding able to put the power down and run a bit away. Dylan's going to be trying to get into that slipstream. You can see how much the drivers are struggling now. The track seems to have got quite a bit more wet. You can see how much she's trying to struggle to grip the car. And even spray now coming from the back of a Binding. And that's Vilside going too wide, making the position on Trouble. None of these drivers, I don't think, have pitted for the new wet tyres, which is what I'm guessing Mats has pitted for. As Mats made a mistake, I think Mats has made a mistake, and that's Vilside, a new leader up into P1. Not far behind is Ultimate K's. Will this wet strategy work out for him? Or will this be something to look back on and go, I shouldn't have done that? As they head round the Porsche curbs. Still not that wet, so those tyres might be quite hot. But compared to the frozen slicks, it might be a better option as Trouble. Where's Trouble? Trouble's off! Xevious as well up into P4. So this wet weather causing some drivers to make crucial mistakes. As Matt's boxes, that could be indeed for damage. As trouble coming in as well. I'm guessing he's also going to swap to some wet weather tires. This rain does not feel light anymore. Maybe it's just because of how long it's been on track. Yeah, you can just see how much spray. If you go offline, you can just see how much spray gets lifted up into the air. And even going into the racing line, it's just, the track is starting to absolutely soak up. But it's going to be Veilside though leading the way. And championship wise, I think this is going to be an ideal situation for Veilside. Veilside second in the championship to his teammate who is in first with 88 points. Veilside with 68. So Matt maybe potentially getting that damage might allow Veilside to gain quite dramatically in the championship. Yeah, trouble unfortunately having that mistake. It was third place, joint third place with Ultimate K's, who is in P2. So Ultimate K's is probably, if nothing happens, going to be overtaking Trouble in the standings. This is not light weather. Yeah, the rain quite bad. In fact, for some people potentially winning. Case. See how much spray is coming out of the back of his car. If he did swap to those wet weathers, like I said, then he is going to be absolutely laughing. As last lap, Veilside doing a 3:55. I don't think we're going to be seeing any more faster slaps from people anymore. Ultimate K's hard into the braking zone, trying not to lock up the tyres. Wet weather tyres definitely go quicker than slicks. Yeah, this rain causing a lot of the grid to separate. Hello to Gugawa. Yeah, so Matt, I think having a mistake, had to pit again. And that's unfortunately put him down in a P10. It was forecast for light weather, but people have decided to put on wet, and it seems to be the right plan. If I think Veilside up ahead, I think might still be on slicks. So if he is, then he's doing an amazing job on those slick tires. I think Ultimate K's overdoing it. Yeah, almost losing the rear end for the corner, having to correct it, cutting that chicane. As P3 Xevious box. Yeah, I think Ultimate K is definitely on the better tyre. Will this affect the straight line speed being on a different tyre? Further back, it might be. Yeah, it seems to be a battle between Cuckoo and Wild Mammoth, the two teammates. Further up, it looks. Well, they were really close for a second, but Binding though in P3. Tokugawa, if you're still waiting for Binding, which I guess you are, you're going to be happy to see that he's in P3, that podium position that you wanted him to be in. He is there. Up. So the closest battle on track is the battle for the lead, and Binding though 28 seconds behind these two. If you look on the map to the right here, you can see this is the battle we're looking at. That is Binding, and then behind Binding you got the whole rest of the grid. So Binding literally in no man's land, absolutely just by himself, going for a country drive through Le Mans. Actually sounds like a really nice thing. But yeah, Ultimate K's though, he's now within a second of Veilside. And we might have another new leader of the race if this goes to Ultimate K's fruition. A very, very yellow card. I think the yellow being swapped with the black, and the black being swapped with the yellow. Okay, so definitely gaining on Veilside there. So let's head to Binding's POV. Well, his rear camera POV. You can see how much Ultimate K's there gains. The exit getting so much more exit speed. I'm not able to get fully alongside. But he's definitely got the momentum. He's definitely gonna try for a move down the straight through Tetra Rouge onto the Mulsanne straight. Both cars are a little wide there. Tetra Rouge is probably one of the most complexes to go wide. As we head back on board, the Ultimate K's making the move. And yeah, absolutely just easily getting through. Meanwhile, Binding still in no man's land as they're leaving the first chicane. Binding is heading onto the Mulsanne straight. Still one of the battles. Yeah, I think my telemetry might be a bit broken because Exus versus Wildman. You can see how much spray is just absolutely coming over. Wildman using all his wipers, which would be one, and getting the better momentum out the corner. Better run off the corner, going too wide. with Exus on this very, very wet-weathered track. Remember, Exus being in that murky, he's going to have that top line street, and as much as Wild Mammoth had the momentum off the corner, you saw how much quicker he was able to get through that corner. He just isn't able to get alongside, and Exus able to hold on another day or another minute or so. We will see. Further down the grid, it's very close between Trickster, Jedlin, and Trickster, Trouble, and Jedlin, yeah. Head to Jedlin, clearly siding against W. As Trouble makes a mistake, that's very much cost him. I don't think Trouble has actually pitted for those wet weather conditions, and he might be regretting it now. Side though, still hanging on a bit to Ultimate K's, not that far behind. It seems that the sky is becoming a bit more sunnier, so we might get back to morning. As Exus making a small mistake, might have been gaining. There's only 12 drivers left in the race. As though leading the way in his McLaren, starting on the third row. Don't think he was expecting to see this sort of outcome tonight. And getting away from Veilside has about a 3-second gap. Boom, so gaining 2 seconds in about just a lap's time. Finding still in no man's land. Exus. Oh, what? Is that just a lamppost? Yeah, that was a really shiny. I thought I was right in the corner. But quite far away, except for Jedlin and Trickster. So just ahead, I think Exus and Cuckoo are indeed quite close to each other. If Cuckoo can in fact get the momentum with the Nissan, remember that ladies is gonna have the top end, but the Nissan definitely the slowest of the cars, so it's gonna be a struggle. Even if Exus is on those slicks, it's gonna be a struggle to pass him. But Exus with a 4:02 last lap, Cuckoo with a 3:39. Well, basically a 4 minutes and 2 seconds quicker. Cuckoo was that lap, and yeah, Exus definitely gonna be in their sights. Further back down the grid. Oh yeah, Jet in trouble with a bit of a kerfuffle. Trouble gaining on the straights compared to Jedlin, but Jedlin last lap doing a 4:14.1. Trouble doing a 4:14.7 at these laps with this weather, but it looks as if the skies are starting to lift a bit, and if Trouble is still on slicks, or if anyone is still on slicks, they're going to be thanking the heavens that they've for laying down that much water for light rain. They're going to be hopefully stamping on their foot on the gas, I mean. See what happens when I'm left unsupervised, aka without Martin. Start chatting absolute just me. Oh, and that's Wild Mammoth in the wall that allows Exus, Cuckoo, and potentially Matt, as we see the morning fog start to settle in since the clocks were set to a 24-hour interval. So we started in the day, we went through that nice process. Now we're hopefully going to be ending the day as well, as Binding pits from third place. I wonder if is Binding getting early to get the slicks on, thinking that there's potential for the track to be a bit drier, and maybe he can even get a jump somehow on the leaders. I mean, the closest person to him is quite far back, as Exus doesn't decide to pit. Cuckoo does decide to pit. Wildmouth does decide to pit. I wonder, is it the time to pit now? I mean, it looks very wet, at least in the pit lane. That's starting to out. So I wonder whether those three drivers that pitted are going to put on slicks, or whether they might try and hold out. I mean, there's so much spray still. Okay, still in the lead, followed by Vilside and Exus in P3, getting promoted up there. Binding now only leaving the pits and coming out side by side, I believe. Actually, no, Binding still quite a way up. Drivers pitting in. Jedlin behind, cut the chicane. Trouble still struggling quite a bit with these wet conditions. Jedlin, right, you can see how much he's fighting the car there, trying to get the power down. You can see basically though on this side of the track it's almost completely dry. Whoa, as Vilside goes off. But I mean he's he's about a minute 10 seconds in front of anyone else. So this battle for first and first is pretty much its own battle, in fact. An entirely different class. Okay, it's getting the signal to box. Followed by Vilside on the same similar strategy, clearly. Oh, and just behind that looks to be a battle between Trouble and Binding. As the sun is rising and the battles are to battle again. The battles are starting to get a bit more hot, like the conditions. I wonder, is Binding going to be able to gain, or is Binding on those slick tyres? I think slick tyres are going to be the ones that are going to be in use as Ultimate Case leaves the pit lane. Hillside still stuck in the pit lane there. As Exus coming through the final corners. Box. That's as well. Coming through the final corners. Does he decide to box? He also decides to box. A lot of people decide that now is the time for pits and to get off of whatever wet weather tyres they were on. Oh, and that's a Trouble off in the gravel, and oh, and Binding, Jesus, jumping the curve, absolutely launched, and unfortunately losing that place to Trouble again, and Jedlin up ahead. There's still so much spray in Sector 1. Yeah, and I think Binding's most definitely got slick compound tyres on, that is for certain. Now, I guess that unfortunately his strategy forced him to do that, but I think it's better than pitting twice. Pit stop's very long time, I believe like a minute for a pit stop, and I think you'd lose a lot more time than just trying to trundle around. Either way, he's in the dry area trying to warm up his tyres. You can see moving left to right, and hopefully he can regain. Either way, Trickster in P4, defending from the likes of Jedlin. As we head in to the second chicane, and that's a move by Jedlin down the inside, doesn't overcook it, able to get the car nice and stops, and Trickster spinning, but just able to hold it before his car facing the wrong way. That's Binding up in P5. Trouble having a good recovery back in 3. And Hillside and Ultimate K's both in a class and a world of their own. So Exus being hunted by Wild Mammoth, I believe. You can see his lights in the distance there. Track practically dry all around here unless you were to go off track. Wild Mammoth seeing his inputs. Heading high speed corner the track. Ignoring Indianapolis, of course. A bit wide there, and that is Rick's boxing. That's promoted up. Whoa, as well, Mammoth almost loses the rear of the car, but definitely loses some time to Exus in front. Wild Mammoth all onto the back of Exus now, actually has the momentum to get alongside them out of the corner. Exus using that straight line speed of the Merc, trying to defend in the last 25 minutes of this race. To get a better exit here. The Wild Mammoth's got a bit battered, but luckily I think that might just be on our side. The Wild Mammoth, I think, is going to try and push to get past Exus, and even might try to hold them up for their teammate Cuckoo, who's in P9. Yeah, them also on straight. Probably not the most likely place we're going to see the overtake happen, especially through the corners, especially through Porsche curbs. We won't see the overtake, but that's what we'll see. Wild Mammoth gain chunks of time compared to Exus. Hard on the brakes. You see a little bit of water still on the outskirts. And in fact, Mats has come into view. And potentially Exus could make a move out of nowhere and get easily by him before Indianapolis. I wonder, does Mats have damage? Stay on board on Exus looking back. Yeah, it seems like Matt's quite slow at the moment. And could, as I said, actually he's gained quite heavily through the zone as that's Jedlin in the pit lane. But let's head back to Exus and Mats. Mats all of a sudden gaining all that time back that he lost on Exus, and now putting the pressure once again. Exus under pressure from a McLaren, but this time it's not Wild Mammoth, it's the championship leader Mats. Exus getting a great exit there as they head past the start line and on to the 25th lap. Exus getting a bit out of shape going into the corner there. Matt's following extremely close behind. This slowing down is going to help Wild Mammoth as well. It looks like they are too wide, almost too wide, going through turn 4, I'm guessing. And X is doing a great job defending that P6 position. Excess and Matt's too wide. That's falling in slipstream, trying to get all of that suck he can. That sounds weird out of context. But Excess not actually defending going into this corner here. But just leaving the door open, and Matt's not going for a dive, knowing that that could cause something, especially this late in the race. But he's so close to the back of Excess now. As you can just see, I think he's physically pushing him. And trying to get away, but never mind, Matt's moving to the inside line, I think lifting a bit. Unless that's just how powerful the Mercedes is. Excess not as confident on the brakes as Matt's behind us in his McLaren. Matt's is going to be once again in the slipstream, trying to just feed off of Excess's slipstream to maybe make an overtake later. Looks like he's been very passive for now. Maybe going for a different master plan. For all I know though, that they've dropped quite a bit to Wild Mammoth behind. As they come to the Porsche curbs, this is where Matt's and his McLaren is better than Excess. See how much he's gained through the corners though. Excess doing a great job of holding that Mercedes. The Mercedes struggles a lot through long corners. Excess defends the inside. Matt's trying to look for an outside move, but there's none to do. Just trying to get that exit out, not let Matt get any momentum off the corner, and trying to get a better exit compared to him. Extremely close between these drivers. Sun is absolutely blaring now, and I think any water left on the track is going to be here and there. Definitely not on the track, probably on the outskirts of the track now, as Matt gets an absolute massive momentum out the corner. And he's too wide now with Excess. Coming into this next corner, these two battling is going to be great for Wild Mammoth behind. It seems as if Matt's just staying behind again. Matt still trying to pressure Excess into a mistake, but I think these two could be potentially working together as a small little team here. Try and get away from Wild Mammoth and Cuckoo behind. Hard on the brakes. Matt might have got the undercut, but that Mercedes, once again, as always, is going to have the power difference. But Matt's, in fact, actually ahead. These two extremely close as Exodus retakes his P6. And before probably a really crucial place, Indianapolis, where pretty much after Indianapolis and between the Indianapolis and Porsche Cubs are probably your only overtaking opportunities, since they're the most straight areas. There's a little stutter happens, and that is trouble pitting. 15 minutes left in the championship. Hopefully that isn't due to damage. Might be just a splash and dash. As Bunning rounds these final two corners and could steal the P3 away from Trouble. Trouble leaving the pit lane now, and you can see just there, just in your peripherals, is Binding taking P3. Dylan as well in the pit lane, so maybe some people underfueling a bit. Binding going a bit wide, having to cut the corner. Trouble coming out in P4. Going to be on the hunt now for Binding ahead, looking to regain that podium position. Still Exus and Mats as close as ever. Mats almost getting enough momentum to try all the way around the outside there, but it would have been an absolutely insane move if he did. But he goes for it there, and has left Exus completely flat. I mean, I was surprised to see that move go there as well. Yeah, Matt's able to make that move stick. See how much Exus is gaining, looking in the braking zone. Too wide, they go. Matt's holding that outside, and Exus trying that switchback. You can see how much more close he is now, getting a lot better of an exit than he did through Tetra Rouge. And there, once again, too wide. And in these last 13 minutes, once again battling till the end. That's back into slipstream, but that instantly pulls out of it, getting the draft, trying it down the inside as Exus just cuts his nose off, as Mats just isn't fully there along. Tried to make a move, but he gets a better exit compared to Exus. And these two are once again too wide again. Mats slipping into the slipstream. Exus leaving the door a bit open here, but Mats decides to just stay behind. The bit of mistake Exus does. Exus goes a bit defensive coming out the corner. You can just see how close these two drivers are to each other. And once again, side by side, Matt Stowe slipping into the slipstream, coming through towards Indianapolis. As Matt's, yeah, incredibly close. Tries to fake, goes right, goes left. Is he going to try to hold it all the way around the outside? He would certainly like to. But unfortunately, X is just nailing the defense. trying to get as better as an exit as he can. Let's hop on board in the cockpit with Mats. With his corner, you can see how much more time he gains. In fact, looking for the move in the Porsche chicane, almost going for it. I think Exus left the door a bit too open there, and that could have been Mats through. I think, though, Mats thinking it is the most dangerous place in the area. As we see Binding hit from third place to trouble, could still get his P3 position back, and in fact he has. But where's Binding going to come out compared to Exus and Mats? As I think Binding has left the pit lane and is just going through the fastest. Yeah, the two can see him. So P4 could be up for grabs for these two, but with 10 minutes remaining, he's 4 seconds up the road from them. These two will have to work together to get that position. Oh, and that's Exus off, and that's Mats through. Exus unfortunately going a bit wide there. Luckily not spinning it and able to keep his car in control. Yeah, making a very, very small mistake that could have ended drastically, but luckily that was not his race over. Still holding on to P6. Cuts the chicane. That's very, very unfortunate there. That could be a track limit. Exus all over the rear of Mats. Mats can't really defend on the straight against the Merc. Going into the next chicane, he's pretty much already down, but he's got down the inside. And he's overcooked it, and he's on the wet stuff, and that allows Exus to get a better exit off the corner. Mats though still just there in his slipstream. But if these two keep on clashing, Binding is just going to be able to hold that P4. The Binding passing us on the camera there as Exus comes flying past us with Mats, and in the background One Mammoth and Cuckoo. So these two have been battling for quite a while now, and neither driver giving up. Both drivers showing all their hands, and Exus so far has been the one to come out on top, as I think Mats has been unfortunately disconnected. As I think there's a... As we've only got six drivers left. All hoping their Wi-Fi doesn't disconnect them. Cuckoo has been slowly gaining on their teammate and now has the opportunity within 7 minutes. The sun is absolutely blaring. There's basically no wetness on the track, and Cuckoo knows it and is now pushing that car to its limits to see if they can get their teammate in the McLaren, going 6 tenths quicker than their fastest lap there. How much quicker Cuckoo is through those corners, getting rapidly. Last lap, Cuckoo did a 3:40 And Wild Mammoth doing a 3:41.
Well, hello.
Hello.
So apparently, so we're probably gonna take lap 27 as a
Okay.
yeah.
That's a shame.
They're gonna finish the race, so we have a replay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this sucks.
yeah. So I guess we found Automobilista's limit. 2-hour races.
I mean, we did 2.4 hours before, so it should work. But I guess that's just Steam shitting itself or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, actually, do you want to do the livery tier list with me now? I mean, that's the perfect timing right now.
It hasn't been updated with you. I mean, to be honest, we could probably
You can just say how much you
Oh
love
yeah, okay. Oh god, here comes the judgment then.
it.
In that case, hold on, let me just set everything up. Carl, I was saying Martin sounds different. That's not Martin, that's Ultimate Case.
That's the so much more sexy version of Martin.
Alright, it's fine if I leave then, right?
Just leave it running.
I'll leave
That
it
should be
running.
better. You know.
Great, so I guess leads. Okie dokie. Right, just so you guys can hear me a bit better as well, I'm just gonna turn. I don't think there is any speaker volume. Oh, there is. I will just turn that speaker volume off for now. Okay. Do you want me to share my screen or?
I'm seeing it on the stream.
Oh, okay. Okay, so here we are. The wait time. I was gonna do this next week, but we're doing it now.
Should I share my screen and just bring up the livery we're talking about?
We could do that, yeah, as well.
Okay. So first one will be the D2 Mercedes, I guess.
The D2, yes. I think it's a I think it's a career. It's a good. I wouldn't say anything bad. I like the pattern of it. I don't think it's anything too.
You should be able to swap to my screen to show that.
Right. So yeah, I think yeah, the D2 Mercedes is it's got a good pattern. I like the black and white a bit, but I don't think it doesn't stand out that much to me compared to some of the others. I'm not saying it's a bad livery at all. I do like the patterns. I just don't think it stands out compared to some of the others. So for that reason, I'm gonna be putting it in C tier.
That's a bit harsh in my opinion, but I totally agree. Like, it's a good livery, but it could also be, you know, basically part of the base game.
Yeah, exactly. Now, yes.
Don't forget to show
Oh
the
yeah.
tier list every once in a while.
So there is that's where so the next one is going to be Exus's livery. I think it's Exus and Svi's livery. Now I've constantly been putting a lot of Exus's liveries in, I believe, B tier, and I think this is the exact. I'm kidding. I like this. I think this is actually. I'm horrified to say this, but this is one of my favorite liveries on the grid.
I agree. It's a very good one.
The chrome, the red, this cobras on the side, all the different sponsors. It adds a bit of busyness to it, and of course PP Racing on the back, and on the top. I think.
That being said, every single sponsor is like a parody sponsor, handmade, or almost everyone's saying handmade. So a lot of love into that livery for sure.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, without a doubt in my mind, this is gonna be a easy S tier for me. So I will, stick it up into the S tier. So on to our next one, which is Wild Mammoth's livery with the nice blue, purple, and is it blue and pink and white?
I think it's like pearlescent is what you call it.
Pearlescent, yeah. Gives me CS, the shiny CS:GO guns. I like the color scheme, but it feels like it's missing a lot of sponsors and a lot of things on the car.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I think it's sort of the opposite of the D2 car, where the D2 car had a lot of things going on, it had a lot of patterns. This is quite like, it's got the numbers and stuff, and it's got some Pokemon over there, but it feels like it's missing some things. Here and there. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it on the same line as C tier. With
Really?
yeah.
For me, it's definitely A tier. Like into the pearlescent is a lot of effort. I think it's a really, really beautiful car. But yeah.
I guess so. I've never done livery, so I can't properly appreciate it. But yeah, I think it's missing a lot of sponsors and a lot of main key things that I would consider a really, really good livery. Not to say that I don't like the pearlescent colours; those are good. Yeah, next is this car, Scuderia Condor. Is it?
Yeah.
Yes. I like this car quite a bit. I like the sort of camo. It's a bit similar to the last one where it doesn't have too many sponsors, but it's still got some sponsors here and there. And I'm always a sucker for a bit of camo. I think the red, the blue, and the white go really well together, as well as the massive mobile wand wing. And for that main reason, I'm gonna put it up. Oh, I think I've started hot. I think I'm being too harsh now. I think I've made a mistake. Oh, you know what? I might fix it later. I will fix it later. I always do. But for that reason, I'm gonna put it up into B tier.
Really? For me, it's A tier, definitely.
I'm gonna probably reorganize this and send it out later, but for now, it's.
How about we put Condor in A and Mammoth in B?
I think what I need to do is I need to push everything up a bit.
Yeah.
Because I think I've accidentally left a big gap.
Well,
yeah.
I think that's something I can get behind.
Yeah, I think maybe A tier was my S tier, and I just completed. But yeah, so yeah, for that reason, I'm gonna put A tier in that case, and everything else gets pushed up to B tier. So yeah, the next livery is the Pepsi car of a Jedlin.
Jedlin and Lewis.
Yeah, I like this car quite a bit, and I think the color scheme of the Pepsi is just it works, and I think the dark blue, the black, and then of course the white lines all work together. The livery, and for that reason, I think I'm also going to put this in A tier.
Yeah, I agree. Trouble just asked about interviews. Are we gonna do interviews after this, real quick?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I can obviously stick around and help.
Thanks. And then we've got, what do we have next? The Super Saiyans is our next one. So Max and Trix's car. And I mean, I've got to be honest, compared to their last season's liveries, I am very, very much a fan of this one. Compared to I think they had some basic white last time in their stock car. With this one, they've completely flipped the books. They've got yellow, blue. There's a lot going on. It's a lot, I think this livery as well has got to be an S tier. I think I just love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, I agree. Like in general, have this kind of Goku versus Vegeta theme going for themselves. So I think that works really well with that livery.
Yeah, honestly. So on to the next livery, which is Xeviouses slash Koenigseggs, but I guess we're only going to see the Mercedes part of it. But I will judge it based on both of them. Because I think Koenigsegg one is a really nice one as well.
I mean, I can show that one as well. The Nissan doesn't get enough screen time anyway.
Yeah, I like the blue is absolutely spot on with the white. Of course, it's got Nismo, so that's instantly us. I'm kidding. I like the different, especially on this one, how you got Godzilla on the front, and I just think it looks nice and busy, not too overcrowded. I think everything works together. And right now I'm debating a very hard decision whether I put it in A or S. I think I'm gonna play it safe and I'm gonna put this one in top of A tier.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the thing is, obviously that previous cut is kind of a signature color theme, and previous liveries are always very, very well made with a lot of attention to detail. So high A tier is definitely something I can get behind.
Yeah. On to the next one, which in fact has been updated a bit since this tier list has been made. And that would be the Peaky Blunders car, which in fact has mixed with Wild Mammoth's car. So we're going to see sort of a mix between the two cars. It's an interesting one. I think if we're judging it on the car before, I'd say it was a B class. And this one as well, I think, is also quite similar. But I'd say I think Cuckoo, which I'm guessing did the livery.
Yeah, correct.
Did the mix, did a good job on finding that and doing it in about a week, I'm guessing.
I mean, they had more time, I guess. But I would agree. Like before, it was a bit bland. To be honest, not a lot of sponsors. Very monochrome color scheme. So for me, actually, like C tier, to be honest. Before, but now with the pearlescent, I think it works really well. So B tier is definitely something I can get behind.
Yeah, and B tier it will be put in. So that's where it's gonna go. So yeah, so far got 3 in B, 3 in A, and 2 in S, and 4 left. So as we go on to Gillis and Tomahawk.
Tomba. I'm gonna show the Nissan because I think the Nissan works a bit better with that color scheme.
Yeah. I mean, once again, I'm trying to hold in my inner biasness because green. No, I'm kidding. I'll be honest. I've always been a fan of the Gillis's liveries on the pattern that it sort of has with it. But I think this one's a bit like the Peaky Blunders livery, where it also doesn't. Actually, no, hold on. I'm just gonna.
Demand mud, you mean? Like that's the same
Actually,
one.
no. It looks I think it's very. I think there's something on it just feels like it's missing. I think I don't know what it is, but I think it's a really good car. And if I was biased, I would put A. But unfortunately, I have lost my bias ways, and I would put this on the highest of beta.
That seems fair to me, at least.
So far, it looks like we're building a staircase right now. And with 3 remaining, I wonder, will I put anyone in C or D? On to the next one, which is Matt and Veilside's livery. So yeah, this is, I think, Veilside normally goes for some Hoonigan stuff. I'm not sure. It gives me Ken Block Unicorn vibes.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think the camouflage is good on it, but I think a lot of the sponsors sort of mold into the camouflage. Like, it is quite hard to see some of the sponsors. Altogether, I think it is a decent livery, good idea. But I think it's just the sponsors are there, but they're just mixed on in. I mean, the VR46, it's, you know, it could have been in a bold black on the back, instead it's a white, and it sort of mixes with the camouflage. So I think, oh, this is gonna pain me. Oh, okay.
Yeah. To me, it is somewhere in the low A to high B range, to be honest. Maybe high to mid B, depending.
I mean, I was thinking, yeah, B tier, probably, yeah, just in front of Cuckoo's livery.
Mhm.
Next is Phoenix and Trouble's livery, and I know they're definitely watching, so let's have that. So I like the livery. There's a couple things I would I'm gonna be absolutely harsh with these two. I like the livery, nice classic vibe, gives me actual GT1 vibes, but I think that has also mixed to the point where it reminds me a bit too much of a default livery.
Yeah.
But I do like all the sponsors. The WWE one always cracks me up, and I think altogether it works really well. And for that reason, I'm gonna put it in a low A tier.
Seems fair to me.
Now on to well, the final livery, and
Which is obviously looking a bit different today.
yes, you were running the what? Well, you swapped the yellow and the black around.
Yeah.
I'll considering that I'll do two. I'll do two. This one, and then I'll do yeah,
one.
I think this is I the yellow is really vibrant. It isn't too mustardy. It isn't too. I think it is a really good yellow. I think the green works. The black works. I think that's a really good color combination. And all the sponsors as well. It stands out. There's nothing hidden properly in it, and I think for that reason I'm gonna put it on for this one, probably high A.
Did you see the Le Mans Easter egg though?
The Le Mans Easter egg? I don't think I did.
Notice anything on the mirror?
Looks like a bit of staining. What? Hold on.
The mirrors are lemons because of Le Mans.
I would have never noticed that. Oh, my lemons. Now we come to the however. I think the black livery, it's a nice it's, you know, it's a sleek design. It's very similar to this one we're seeing, but I don't think it stands out that much compared to the other cars on the grid, and I would actually put that one at the bottom of A tier.
Obviously, that's the wrong decision, 100%. But
don't make me put. In fact, no, that's it. D tier confirmed. I would. I'll stick it in the middle because great Le Mans livery. But I think I don't know. There's just the black doesn't do it for me. And when looking at your yellow one, it really just makes me go, "Oh, yellow."
Interesting. Like for me, it's different. For me, it's the other way around. Like the black one really works really well for me. The yellow a bit less, but I wanted to do something for limo.
Yeah, yeah. Great.
All right, should we go for some interviews?
Indeed. Good. So who have we got? We got Exus, Binding, Cuckoo, Trouble, and Wild Man.
I need to check back your stream so we can see what's actually the finishing order.
I think either way, I think Exus should be brought in because he had an absolutely, at least the most recent fight I remember is him and Matt's fighting. So
Mm-hmm. Yep.
let's put him in.
Hello.
Ooh. Yeah.
Hi.
So towards the end there, had the absolute wrath of Matt's behind you.
Yeah, that was.
Tell us what was.
Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, tell us what was going on through your mind and what strategy you had to keep him behind.
I mean, like the only thing that saved me pretty much was the straight line speed of the Mercedes. So, like the first sector before we got on the straights, he was catching, and then on the straights, I would catch him again and get ahead. But like the slipstream he got, then he easily managed to stay behind me. And then as soon we entered the Porsche corners, I think it's Porsche corners, right?
Yeah, Porsche. Porsche.
Yeah, he just got me again, or like he got really close, and then had to defend hard, or yeah. So I think if he would have been on even machinery, then he easily would have smoked me.
Guess that is one of the benefits of being in the Mercedes and probably one of the most straight line tracks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I really benefited from this. As soon as I catched up to some cars in front, it was easy to overtake them on the straight. But I actually didn't have that many battles. The only like real battle I had, think, it was with Mats. Like everyone else I passed kind of did a fuck up or did something themselves. So yeah.
I mean, yeah, talking about fuck ups, a lot of them happened in the rain conditions. And
Yeah.
I mean, looking at what was predicted as a light rain forecast, I thought there might be a bit of a drizzle here and there. I was not expecting to see that much of pouring rain. And yeah, what was your thoughts going through that, seeing that the rain just getting heavier and heavier?
I mean, I tried to stay out on the softs, and in practice, I thought that the softs did pretty good job. But at some point, it would get undrivable. So it was kind of a gamble when to switch, and then I remember that Xevious stayed out on softs, and then Kase kind of convinced me to change because he was ahead of me and was going through sector 1, and it was undrivable for him. So then it was right before I catched the pits. So then I decided, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna pit. Which was also not. I'm not sure if it was the good decision, because at that point for me the wets weren't really drivable, so I really had to take care and manage tires. Almost like in the first few laps, fucked it up with the tires. So I lost really a lot of time with on the wets, and later on when it was getting dry again, which was pretty weird because it dried up that fast, you know. So it was fast to get back on the softs, and then the car finally felt good again.
So, are there any other tracks you're looking forward where you think the Mercedes are gonna give you the edge and to be competitive and for some good results?
I think maybe Spa, but like Donington Park and Kansas, Suzuka, yeah, Mercedes gonna suck really hard, I guess. At least if I not find some magical setup that kind of works. Maybe Spa.
All right. If you don't have any more questions, I think we should definitely get some more people in.
Yeah,
Everyone's patiently waiting. So thanks
Guys.
for your interview, Brian, and see you soon.
See ya.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Trouble finished pretty high up on the standing.
Yeah, it should be P3, yeah.
P3. So let's bring him in and see his reactions to getting the high up on the grid.
Hello, Trouble.
Hi.
So that was some impressive performance, overtaking Mats at the start, being in the lead for quite a bit. And ultimately, I mean, we still need to determine the results, but I think it should be P3. So how are you feeling after the race?
Mixed feelings. Like, I'm happy that I got P3, but that could have been so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I absolutely could have at least been fighting Veilside for second, if not you for the win. Yeah. Also, Kaiser, do you know, well, just before you actually overtook me, sort of permanently, did you notice that I didn't have a big speed advantage over you?
Yeah, like I noticed that going to Tetra Rouge, all of a sudden I gained a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, well, not when you caught up by like a second and a half. That's because I messed up Tetra Rouge. Basically, cut the corner. And was like, I'm gonna lift off because I don't want to get penalised. And obviously, then we ended up like basically fighting. But at some point during that, I don't know if it was through contact with you or somehow I clipped the wall, I got one front aero damage and lost nearly all of my straight line speed advantage over you. And also, you physically cannot make the Merc have high speed turning. Like it's always understeering. I was on the most aggressive aero setup, but it's still understeering. So one front aero damage made it a boat through the Porsche curves.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised I even managed to hang on so well.
Yeah.
But you know, at the end of the race, that was very insignificant because I was a minute and a half down. But yeah, that's because of the rain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Nismo. You know that I pitted like a lap after everyone. I'd managed to do fuel saving in the safety car and like out like formation lap to the point where I'd used less than a lap of fuel after 2 laps. So
I'm happy.
So I literally had enough fuel for a whole extra lap, and then was like, "Oh, well, it's already raining. Let's go on to wets." And I wasn't losing too much time on the wets. I knew it'd get better as rain kept coming. I locked up once, and that gave me so much wear that a few laps later, it gave me a puncture while I was fighting Veilside. And just on the straight going up to Indianapolis, I suddenly just slowed down without having hit the brakes, and Veilside flew past me. And then basically it just drove so badly that I then spun as well. And yeah, it was so bad. And the funny thing with that is also it took way longer for softs to become worse than the wets, than it should usually like you'd have expected. So Fennec was saying, "Oh, the softs are good. The softs are good. You should go onto the softs." I went onto the softs. 2 laps later, he says, "Right, all the grip from a few laps ago, it's just disappeared. I'm 5 seconds slower than I was." I changed onto the softs just as it became a death trap. And I was like, right, I'm not changing tyres anymore. I've already pitted too many times.
Yeah.
And I came out the pits 10 seconds ahead of Mats, ended up going back, or like when everyone else pitted, when it changed to dry again. Matt's before going into the pits was a good 40 seconds up the road. At least quite a few people, the changeover point was as we were going sort of through the first few corners. So some
Absolutely.
people who were still on wets really suffered. So actually, within 2 laps, I'd managed to go from second to last to 4th, I think it was.
Absolutely. Like that strategy was everything tonight.
Yeah.
I also really noticed. Same question to you as to Axis. Do you think, looking forward to any of the remaining tracks, do you think the Mercedes is going to have an edge on any of the tracks?
I don't think it'll be bad at Spa, but some of Spa's high-speed corners, I'm not convinced it'll be that good at. I mean, I said a similar thing about Le Mans, and it turned out all I needed to do was tune the car to make it better. But Spa is the same issue, but more so. So I'm not sure I can actually, like, I'm not, yeah, I'm not sure I'll be as good there as here. But that at least might be a competitive race, I'll say.
Yeah, with Spa, it's also going to be mixed conditions. So
oh,
maybe
is it? Oh no.
it won't be light though. It'll be heavy rain coming in.
Well, at least that makes the strategy easier. But now I'll have PTSD from this race because that's like this didn't go well. Like I did okay in spite of my awful. Well, I had an okay strategy, but despite me bottling the strategy is what I should say. Good strategy fucks it up. So hopefully I can't do that if it's heavy rain. I don't know.
Yeah, it should be more clear on what tires to use. I guess I agree. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We still have 2 people in the ready for interview. So thank you for joining us tonight. And
thanks for having
again
me.
on the podium.
Yeah. Also, just a question before we go: is there a point for fastest lap?
Yes, in theory there is, but it's gonna be hard to determine because of the disconnect. So we might skip on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Well, yeah. Nismo, do you know what Matt's fastest lap was? Just out of curiosity, even if there's no point.
I think I saw 36.
Okay, because I also got a 36, so I'm trying to figure out who
it was a
got
low
the fastest.
I mean, I kept on checking during the stream. So there'll probably be a moment where I show the fastest lap up and be like, "That's his fastest."
Probably.
Lap.
Yeah, it's still.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
We're gonna discuss it. We're gonna discuss it in the stewards meeting, but I think it's gonna be tough to determine. So probably.
That's understandable. I didn't expect you to go through with that. I was just sort of curious for my own thing. So, but yeah, thanks for the race, even if it was cut a bit short. So.
All right, then have a good night, and we're gonna bring in Binding next, I guess, right?
Oh, normally these two normally.
Well, you can bring them in together
so
if you
we
want.
always bring them in together. I'll bring Binding, you bring Cuckoo.
All right.
Right. Well, yeah. See you
later then.
Yeah.
Yeah. See ya.
Oh God, Jesus fuck! Oh shit!
Hello. I heard it's tradition to bring you two in together.
Where's Martin? This is not comfortable for me.
Kazers replaced him.
Yeah. I'm doing everything now. Commentating, interviewing, racing, everything.
Commentating while driving, okay.
Yeah. So let's start off with you, Binding. Impressive quality performance.
Yes.
I think it was P4 in the end.
P4, yes.
To my annoyance. And so how was the race for you?
I should have been third, but the universe decided against it.
What did the universe do?
Okay, so what happened is that during the second round of pit stops, I went back on the dries. Unfortunately, Sector 1 decided it wanted to have a small thunderstorm right on that section of the track only. It was beyond wet. I had no control of my car, and I picked up a couple of corner cutting infringements, which meant eventually I
seems
got
like a skill issue.
I'm going to shoot you.
I only got one. All race.
But usually the corner cutters get shot here, so.
Point being, I could have been third because at some point late in the race, Trouble pitted and I passed him, but then I had to do the drive-through.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could have been third.
Well, so
still fourth.
So as you're here as well, Kuku, how was it in the Nissan for you? Because I imagined it wasn't easy.
I don't think it quite set in how screwed I was until qualifying when both of the Nissans were last.
Yeah.
I'd sort of thought I'd be able to be okay-ish up until that moment, and then I sort of realised, okay, it's going to be like this.
It is no longer okie dokie.
Yeah, I made some okay progress in the race. I think changing onto the wets and then back to dries, I could have maybe handled a little bit better, but I don't think it really impacted my race that much. I think even if I'd gotten that better and came out in front of the pack of 3 cars that had jumped me on the switch back to the dries, I think they would have caught me and overtaken me anyway. The thing I am a bit annoyed about is Mammoth had picked up damage in the wet, and then on that final stint on the dries, I was just pushing like a maniac to catch and pass him, which I managed to do right after everyone had like disconnected from that issue at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really annoying because now I'm going to be behind him, even though I managed to catch him.
Yeah, fair enough. May I ask what downforce you were running and what your top speed was, just to see it in comparison?
315 kilometers down the main straight.
With slipstream or without binding?
Without slipstream.
Without. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I was also on 1-1, I believe it was, and I was lucky to hit 304.
Yeah, well, that's harsh. I remember testing on 1.2 and I still reached like 309. In the end, I was on 0.0 and reached like 312. So yeah, the Nissan clearly lacking the straight line speed.
I could do that with a slipstream. I could get up to about 312 with slipstream, but if I didn't have it, about 304-ish was the best I could really get.
Oh. Yeah, really good job for sticking it out then in the Nissan. And I guess you will still get some decent points for the championship.
Yeah, I sort of capitalized on people's misfortune. It's a shame I'm probably not going to officially jump Mammoth despite catching and passing at the end there, but still a very strong final stint in my opinion. I got very close to my qualifying time. Actually, I was pushing like crazy.
Just for your information, Trouble just posted he had 1-0 arrow, and in slipstream he reached 326 kph.
Oh my god!
So that's like
I think
easily 10 kph faster than we even with slipstream.
Yeah, I just sort of got to watch people pull away from me most of the time.
Yeah, fair.
In practice, me and Kaku were having this sort of battle. And I say sort of because while she would shit on me on the corners, anytime we were near a straight, it was just going. I would just say goodbye.
Yeah, I just get to watch you pull away completely, and then I close in again in the braking zones, and yeah.
Yeah, talking about the car differences. So we have 3 races remaining. What tracks are you guys looking forward, and where do you think your cars are gonna be very competitive? Respectively.
Binding's really excited for Donington Park.
Never speak to me again. I hate Donington with all my heart. I do not speak on my behalf, wench. Sorry, that was very mean. I do not take it back though.
I'm very excited actually for Suzuka and Spa. I like those tracks quite a lot. So
Suzuka and Spa are very fun. I feel like Kaku's going to be struggling a little bit in Spa. There's a lot of straights on that.
Yeah, maybe a bit. I mean, there is medium rain right in the middle, though.
Oh, of course, we're just not allowed to be happy.
And also, I think the straight line deficit of the Nissan isn't as big on the non-low downforce configurations, right? So maybe it won't be as bad for you there.
Yeah, probably not.
I can only hope.
No.
Nisma, can I have a question? There was the livery tier list, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, where did the Dragon Ball livery go?
S.
I think S tier, yeah.
Okay, you save your skin. Where did the D2 livery go?
Oh fuck.
No, tell the class.
F tier.
It went into B, I think, yeah.
B. No, it went in C.
All right, yeah, I'm getting a plane ticket. Run.
Did you make the old or the new Peaky Blunders? Because it was sparkly now.
Yeah,
I
Where
think
did where'd Cookie's livery go?
Mammoth overhauled it
I
and
wa-
made it sparkly.
if it was your original livery, it would have gone into D, but the extra sparkles put it into.
Oh, C tier
Why
again, baby.
D? Why D though? The original livery was better.
yeah. Well, I think it didn't look bad, but I think overall, not to hurt any feelings, but
I'm
it was
gonna
a bit.
ban you. I'm
It
gonna
was a
take
bit.
over the server and ban you is what I'm gonna do.
It was a bit bland, with the lack of sponsors.
Any
Yeah,
comment,
I mean
Jesse?
the original livery, I liked the clean look of it, and then Mammoth was the one in charge of alterations when joining the team, so it wasn't a huge overhaul. But yeah, the original one I really liked the sort of clean look it had, and I didn't really want to slap stickers on it.
Fair,
Yeah.
I
fair.
quite liked how it looked on its own.
I just like the multicolored Nissan at the back.
Yeah, that's actually really nice as well.
And obviously, like Nismo's gonna post his results and also the link into the league chat, so everybody's obviously welcome to make his own tier list. Let everyone know.
At least now I have a decent gap compared to Koku in the championship.
Yeah, we will.
I'm sure you- I'm
we
sure
probably
you'll
have to
extend
figure
it
out
even
the
more.
standings, but
At Donny Park.
I swear to God.
Oh. I'm really looking forward to Donington Park. Actually, it's one of my favorite tracks.
Well, that's because
I mean, the kicker though, Binding, is that on your drop round you're going to lose points, and I'm not. I think at the moment you lose 5 points on your drop round.
because of Hockenheim.
I think it was Silverstone actually is your worst result.
Really?
Yeah,
Where did I finish in Silverstone?
you did behind me. You did spin like twice.
That's true. Oh yeah, right. Where did I finish in Silverstone? Because I thought I got a worse result in Hockenheim.
Like 12th or something.
No, I definitely finished worse in Hockenheim.
16th you finished in Silverstone.
Oh.
And obviously, we're gonna have one drop result. So, we'll just see how it all turns out in the end.
Mine's definitely Hockenheim, where I disconnected.
Yeah, 100% then. So that means
So,
Binding is gonna drop some points, versus you are not gonna drop any points.
yeah, I lose no points.
Yeah.
Where did you
fine.
finish in this one, Binding?
In the
Should be
fourth.
Should be
Four.
fourth.
Oh, so you get 38, and I
Yeah.
get what, 24? Oof.
So it's
Oof.
gonna be a run to the end. So you really gotta push there, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nismo, do you have
Only
any?
Shad would actually appear. Holy hell!
Yeah.
He was
Do you
watching
have
you.
any
He was watching you.
remaining
He was rooting
questions?
for you. No, I don't, except for Binding. You've got a big fan base on my stream. I'll say that.
Do I?
Pretty much half my stream was rooting for you. The other
Well, thank you.
the other half were rooting for. I think Fennec was mentioned.
It's nice when the underdogs come through.
Yeah.
I don't really have an excuse now. My next best result has to be a podium on a road course.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
It's like Syndicate all over again, where I got like fourth in a round, and then I went to an interview and I said, okay, I don't have an excuse. I need to get a podium. And then when I got a podium, I had to get a win, and then I got a win. I don't think that's going to happen here, unfortunately.
I've just seen your status thing on Discord, Binding. That's very rude of you.
I'm sorry.
I did mention that on stream. The cowboy hat. I was like, is that how your
Yeah.
race is gonna go?
I'll cry about that one.
Yeah. All right, guys. Then thanks for joining our interviews tonight, and looking forward to see you back in the interviews for the next races.
Yeah. Binding's gonna have a really fun time at Donington Park.
I can imagine.
He's really excited. He wants
I'm
to practice already.
I'm crying myself to sleep right now.
All right, guys. Then have a good night. Thanks for joining tonight.
See you guys later.
Yeah.
I should go and eat something.
I should go get a drink because my head hurts.
Until next time,
Yeah.
guys.
See you
Yeah,
guys then.
thank you,
See
thank
at
you.
Donington. Oh, kill me, please.
Yeah, so 2 extra commentators' curses as well tonight. Those were awarded to Svi and Kunisek.
Oof. How dare you curse Cooney? He's our saint, the capybara savior.
I can't remember what Cunisec's one, but I remember what Svi's one was because it was literally. I was trying to find someone who was coming out the pits, and I said, "Let's go on board with Svi's." He was at the front of the grid, and he instantly went off into the gravel at Indianapolis.
Oof. That
Yeah.
hurts. Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, but so Exus though still believe has the most with 3 commentators' curses. Ellie in second place with 2 commentators' curses, and pretty much everyone else with 1, except a couple few people who have missed my curses, who I hope to get during maybe next race. Yeah.
One thing I want to say, I'm really surprised about Mats's strategy call, because I'm very sure, like at the end of lap 13, I think the first real pit stops came in, and just like me, he definitely did not take tires because we were released at a very similar window, and when the rain kicked in, I think he pitted for new softs, because I pitted for wets, obviously. But Mats just pitted again the next few laps, and he was really slow. So I'm very surprised.
Yeah. I mean, it was just, especially when I looked on the. I'll be honest, when I looked at the weather, I was very confused. Like, I thought light rain, okay, so it's gonna be a little bit of a drizzle. No one's gonna change onto wets, and it just poured down at some sections. I was not expecting there to be a whole different strategy that would appear in this race.
Yeah. I mean, in practice, it kind of looked like you could survive on the softs, even though it would have been not easy. In my practice session earlier I did with Trixer, it was really clear that you need wet tires. So I was prepared for both, and wets definitely were the right call. Also, that's the whole reason why I think Whaleside pitted for wets right away in lap 13. And that's also the whole reason why I was managing to get that really big gap in the end, even though I had the 10-second penalty from speeding in the pits, because his wets must have been absolutely done by the time the rain set in.
Yeah. Hopefully, Matt's gonna have a bit of a better strategy next time. Not having his, I think, probably one of his worst performances in a while.
Yeah, absolutely, and in the race that doesn't have a drop result as well, so that might open up the championship again for Whaleside. Maybe even me. I don't know. I need to do the math, but yeah, nothing's decided yet for sure.
Yeah.
Except for maybe P1 in team standings. I think that's really that's really a big gap. They're currently leading by 65% without the results for Le Mans.
Yeah. I mean, the VR46 racing crew just absolutely decimating. Hopefully, Mats might get some better luck, and we might see some similar results to what we did, where we might see some underdogs come up. Ended in a bit of controversy, but hopefully next week won't be as controversial. Next week it's going to be a normal 1 hour long race rather than a 2 hour one. But hopefully we will see you guys next week for that. So until then, guys, it's been great streaming again, and I will hopefully see you guys next week.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and see you guys next week.
And they're off. Green flag racing. Matt's getting an amazing start. Ultimate Case actually catching speed, napping. Matt getting the jump on his teammate down the inside. Necron losing to Cuckoo on the start. Can he pressure Dino into a mistake. Dino goes too wide and extremely close for P1. And is this going to be Jedlin going down the inside? Oh, there's a bit of contact. Oh, that's a spin. And there's another safety car. Oh my god, this carnage.
Jedlin and Kaze are both in the pits. Fennec, Exus, and Diener all coming in as well. It'll be very tight if he still wants to make it to the back of this pack, but in the meantime, we do have everyone out of the pits, so we're probably going to get going on this next lap. We are, in fact, restarting now, regardless of that incident.
Okay, he's looking for that undercut. Does he get it? It looks like he might do that side by side and very close together. Cuckoo looking for that inside line on Jedlin ahead. Going into 130R, but they're going to be wanting to go fully defensive into the chicane of Casio Triangle. He's going to end up finishing in P1, crossing the line. Greenlink's going to cross the line. It's going to be Ultimate K's across the line.
Gilish comes across the line to win his second MSR title.